Hello and welcome back. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay informed on the latest news affecting the royal family. A grey London morning is briefly brightened by a reassuring gesture. King Charles III, still recovering from cancer treatment, appears outside Clarence House, waving quietly to well-wishers before stepping into a waiting car. The image is fleeting but powerful. At 76 years old and just over a year into his reign, the king is not only grappling with the constitutional responsibilities of monarchy but also with something far more personal and human: illness. This departure from London is not ceremonial. There are no trumpets, no military escorts. There is simply a man, Britain's sovereign, choosing wisely and perhaps reluctantly to step away from the pressure of the capital and retreat to the Cotswolds countryside. His destination, Highgrove House, his long-cherished residence nestled deep in the Gloucestershire hills. The decision signals not retreat from duty, but a necessary return to calm, to nature, and to personal healing. Highgrove has long been a sanctuary for King Charles. Purchased in 1980, the estate has evolved into an expression of his deepest values. The house itself is modest by royal standards, but the surrounding gardens, meticulously designed and managed with sustainable organic principles, are where his heart has always been. Wildflower meadows, bee sanctuaries, and recycled water systems weave through every corner of the estate. It is not just a place to rest. It is a place where the king feels rooted. The context of this journey is deeply significant. Earlier this year, the palace revealed that King Charles had been diagnosed with cancer, following a routine procedure for an enlarged prostate. The specifics of the illness remain private, a choice that balances public interest with personal dignity. Still, the admission alone marked a shift in royal transparency, offering the public a rare window into the vulnerabilities of the crown. Despite the diagnosis, King Charles has, until recently, continued to perform many of his duties behind the scenes. While his public appearances have been understandably limited, insiders describe a man still poring over state documents, responding to red boxes, and maintaining a daily schedule that would exhaust many men decades his junior. His work ethic is well known and, as some aides have noted, deeply embedded in his personality. He is not one to idle. Even in illness, he seeks to serve. But treatment takes its toll. In March 2025, the palace confirmed that the king had experienced temporary side effects from his therapy, prompting a short hospital stay and renewed calls from doctors and close family to slow down. The departure to Highgrove is in many ways a reluctant compromise, an effort to balance the king's relentless sense of duty with the very real physical demands of cancer treatment. As the king leaves Clarence House, his sister princess Anne makes a quiet appearance, arriving in her usual understated style. She visits briefly before his departure, a moment that speaks volumes about the unspoken strength of their bond. Anne, who lives nearby at Gatcombe Park, has long been regarded as one of the most dependable members of the royal family. Her presence offers not just sibling support, but familial reassurance in a moment that demands unity. Queen Camilla, too, remains a steady and private presence in all of this. Though not photographed during the king's departure, she is understood to be coordinating closely with medical advisors and staff to ensure her husband is both protected and cared for in the peaceful surroundings of the countryside. Her role, though often subtle, is critical, quietly supporting the man she has stood beside through years of public scrutiny and private resilience. The public response to the king's recovery has been overwhelmingly empathetic. Outside Clarence House, tourists and well-wishers gather with hope and curiosity. One visitor remarks how relieved they are to see him smile and wave. Across social media, the tone is largely respectful, supportive, even emotional. Messages flood in from across the Commonwealth, urging him to rest, to take the time he needs, and to prioritize health over public appearances. These are not demands from a restless public. They are offerings of kindness extended to a monarch increasingly seen as not just a figurehead, but a man with burdens of his own. The symbolism of Highgrove plays no small part in this story. Unlike Balmoral or Sandringham, Highgrove is a home of Charles's own making, both physically and philosophically. The gardens represent decades of work, passion, and environmental commitment. Even during times of intense public scrutiny as Prince of Wales, it was here that Charles could retreat, recalibrate, and find perspective among the rosebeds and wild thyme. Now, during his recovery, that same sanctuary becomes more than a metaphor. It becomes part of his treatment. The simplicity of walking among the greenery, the stillness of evenings in the orchard, the gentle rituals of routine, these are not luxuries. They are lifelines. And for a monarch who has spent a lifetime advocating for sustainability, for harmony with nature, and for the balance of body and soul, the gardens of Highgrove offer a kind of quiet medicine that no hospital can replicate. Still, questions linger about the monarchy's next steps. While King Charles remains the head of state, his health has inevitably shifted the rhythm of royal engagements. Prince William, already assuming more senior responsibilities, continues to be a steady figure of public presence. Princess Catherine, too, though managing her own health challenges, remains a beloved and trusted royal whose role will likely expand in time. What is perhaps most notable, however, is how the monarchy has responded to this moment. There has been no hysteria, no dramatic pivot, no undue focus on the succession. Instead, there is quiet continuity. The institution, centuries old, carries on. But beneath the protocol and pageantry, the human dimensions of royalty, love, loyalty, patience are what shine most clearly now. In stepping away, if only briefly, King Charles models something increasingly rare in leadership: the wisdom to rest. To say no, not out of weakness, but out of strength. To retreat, not in shame, but in dignity. And to allow space for healing, for reflection, for being. As the black car disappears into the quiet roads of Gloucestershire, Britain is reminded that even kings are mortal. That even monarchs need to pause. And that sometimes the most powerful act of leadership is not to push forward but to take a step back. The nation watches, waits, and hopes. For recovery. For resilience. For the quiet return of a king who leads not just by title but by example. And as the days pass in the green embrace of Highgrove, a very modern monarch continues to write his chapter, one not of grand declarations but of thoughtful presence and enduring grace. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, stay informed and stay engaged.